We have work to do. It's a VH1 couples retreat. Today I've got Claudia Jordan, her boyfriend KJ, and AJ Aquia Johnson, who's a life coach. Good morning to all of you.
Hello,
Good
good morning.
morning.
I want to start off with you, AJ. Being a life coach, what are you hoping to accomplish with the couples?
I'm hoping that the couples understand that what they thought before they showed up at the retreat, what they thought their truth was, may either not be the truth or it needs tweaking for them to get to their better relationship and their better selves. So I hope the same thing for anybody watching the show is, what you may be living could be perception. Let's face it, especially after pandemic. We've been living in a world that has been so social media driven, and what you present, people think is the truth. But now, if you're in a relationship, is that really your truth? Is what you're putting out to the public real? And so what we do is we get to the real, and oh boy, do we. And so, these couples trusted me. We dug deep. They were all there, knowing that it was not going to be just fun, sun, and drinks on the water. And, what you're getting ready to watch is some real therapy moving forward in each other's lives and in their relationships.
Speaking of that, Claudia and KJ, what did you get out of it? What were you looking to accomplish?
We had talked about a little bit of therapy, getting a little bit of therapy, and this was the perfect time. We both know AJ, at least I met AJ in Ghana, and Claudia and AJ know each other. So to have an opportunity to go out there and really just dig deep, put it out there to the world that we have the same problems that most other people have, and have AJ just help us out with it was why we decided to do it. It was a tough journey, but AJ helped us out.
Claudia?
Yeah, I feel better.
You feel better?
I feel better. Thanks, AJ. Yeah.
Like most people, we talked about before we even went on there, like we probably should go to therapy, but we never did. And honestly, if it wasn't for AJ and VH1, we probably would have just continued to drag our feet and just exist in the, it ain't bad, it ain't great, but it's okay. It's not horrible. And just kind of like, I don't know, just keep going like where we were, instead of like kind of getting a better understanding of where, things could be better or we can go our separate ways, and I think that people are afraid to do that work because they might uncover like, maybe we're not supposed to be together, or, let's really, really go for it. And both of those things are scary to some people, going for it, putting a ring on it, just committing to each other for life, or going your separate ways. So, if it wasn't for the show and AJ, we probably would have just still been, just the same pattern, be frustrated, silent treatment, go hang out again, forget that we had to sweep it under the rug and just act like nothing's wrong. Like this forces you to actually really talk about it and put it on the table, good, bad, and ugly. And we did it, and so many of the other couples did it as well, where we're all shocked. Like in some parts of the show you're watching and it made you feel close to your person because you're like, well, damn, at least we don't have their problem. And then I'm sure people are watching us and saying, well, damn, we don't have their problem. So,
I can tell you that's what was happening, because I'm doing the one-on-ones and the couple sessions outside of the group. And that's exactly what was happening, which was great though, because it led me to the next direction, right? You guys were really the boat steering. I was just kind of riding along and making sure we didn't hit any rocks bigger than the ones you were already living with, to be honest.
Speaking of boats, you don't want to miss any episode, because on one of the episodes, KJ almost throws somebody off a boat. I'm gonna say that.
Can I help ask a quick question? I think one of the things that I was even surprised about, that I hope you guys love when you watch, is that the guys were so open and honest and talked to me. I mean, I've got my buddy and my friend for years, John Salley, who's there with me helping to coach and to dig with these couples. But KJ, I want to ask you, because yeah, we had met before, but I feel like you trusted me man to woman. You trusted me brother to sister, and so did the other guys. I think, to be honest, you guys were probably a little bit more emotional in a lot of cases than the women. What made you feel okay to be so honest with me?
Because it would have done no good to just go on the show and just be surface. I don't have a good poker face. You're going to ask me a question, I'm not going to be able to lie. I'm just
Or sugarcoat. He can't
I don't
sugarcoat.
sugarcoat it. I'm just straight shooter. Even when it hurts, even if it hurts me to say it,
Yeah.
I just keep it real. Even when I talk about the other couples, I go back and tell them, hey, look, here's what I said about you, because it's true. You know,
Right.
and it's not because I'm just in their business, but it's because we're here to work on each other and give perspective on the other couples. So we did that.
I did like when you did that with the one couple, when you were like, you took accountability, like, yeah, I said it. And this is why I said it.
Ooh, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that.
There's a lot of it, yeah. So
It's
no fake,
so
it's not
good.
fake at all. And I don't do fake, so.
You know, KJ, talking about that, you know, there's a lot of men out there that are like stone walls. What do you hope these guys get out of that?
Communication is the key. I mean,
Amen.
communication is the key. If you are going to be in a relationship, you got to talk about it. You can't just hold it in. You got to let it out. And sometimes you have to say it more than one time for it to really stick. Sometimes you have to have somebody else in the room to hear you say it so that they can say, yeah, that's a fact. And
Accountability.
and accountability, yeah.
Keeping you accountable to what you say and what you mean, and not back off because you think you're hurting somebody's feelings. You know, too many of our relationships nowadays, you know, are afraid to live in truth. Not after couples retreat, man. That's where we're living.
Mm-mm.
Can you see us right now? Can y'all see us, James?
No, I'm actually, this is being videotaped on your end and videotaped on my end,
Oh.
but I definitely will be seeing this in about another hour or two. But I do want to say this,
Yeah.
Claudia, KJ, and AJ, thank you again so much for joining us on Morning Blend. The last thing I want to say to you is, wherever that retreat was, I want to be there. That was beautiful.
They had a lot of
Thank you.
ants out there.
Thank you again.
And roaches.
And roaches.